makes a business a business? It's who starts it. The everyday entrepreneur ready to put themselves out there. We're all sailing against the wind right now, but we will make it to shore. It's been done before, and we will do it again.
It's full but powerful. Stunning images from Center City, as you can see, as tens of thousands of people gather, joining together, calling for an end to police brutality. Saturday night, I'm Walter Perez. The big story in Action News is the continuing call for the end to police brutality, racism, and injustice. Exactly 1 week ago, these massive protests in Philadelphia began, and today's demonstration was by far bigger than any gathering we've seen so far. Action News reporter Annie McCormick joins us live from the ground following the demonstration from the beginning. She's live in Center City with a full report.
I got a lot of friends over there.
And Walter, thousands are all across the city right now at multiple protests that are happening. Behind you can see a sea of people. Like I said, thousands from the Art Museum all the way up here to City Hall. Now, there was a march that started the Art Museum, came here to City Hall, and a number of those people did stay here, with some other protests splintering off from that one. But you can also see a number of police and the National Guard that are also here coming from last week as well to make sure that everyone here is safe. Protesters rounded City Hall by midday with signs in hand.
It's amazing. Needed to be done.
I feel good. It's a peaceful protest and I like it.
Yeah, I like peaceful protests too.
The crowd urged for police reform, some calling on the defunding of the police department, others for racial equality after the death of George Floyd.
He's trying to stand up.
As the march approached City Hall and the MSP
He's over here passing out, nodding out.
Massive police and National Guard presence in the same place where exactly a week ago a peaceful protest.
You alright?
Yeah, I know, right? I want to put this in there. Can I be left alone?
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle.
I'm gonna save your red velvet, because I'm gonna save you a red velvet, because I already had a piece of that.
Sort of shocking to see for me, and I just wanted to show support.
Stop driving that lemon. Get free help. You could get a new car or a refund. And the help is free. Call 1-800-LEMON-LAW today. Driving a lemon, make the call to 1-800-LEMON-LAW.
You gotta,
Marchers taking part in a Black Lives Matter protest in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Counter-protesters who reenacted the death of Floyd on the side of the road. Action News reporter Maggie Kent is live in Franklinville, New Jersey tonight. Maggie, what has the reaction been to all of this?
Peaceful protesters were shocked when they saw those offensive displays right across the street from where they were marching. But tonight we've learned that two of the men who were involved in the counter-protest were suspended from their jobs.
That was a real person, yes, who was willing to get down and show, such hate.
Monday's peaceful Black Lives Matter protest was organized by Darian Fennell, and while it wasn't a large gathering, it made an impact, especially online.
What goes viral is all the negativity, and like this video that's surfaced and came out and is being shared thousands of times. I want to shed light on the fact that ultimately the intentions were pure and we were all about unity.
One of the men participating in the counter-protest is a New Jersey Department of Corrections officer. The NJDOC has since suspended the officer pending investigation, saying, quote, "We have been made aware that one of our officers from Bayside State Prison participated in the filming of a hateful and disappointing video that mocked the killing of George Floyd. reason why speaking up, marching, and protesting is essential.
With this individual being a correctional officer, okay, he's facilitating over other minorities and prisoners who are minorities. So we can only imagine what type of injustice they may be facing every day that they cannot speak of. We need to be their voice.
And FedEx has also responded to our request for comment, saying that they have identified one of their employees as one of the men participating in the counter protests and that they have been suspended as well pending an investigation. We've tried to reach out to both of those men who are speaking up tonight and have not been successful in doing so. There is another Black Lives Matter protest planned for here Saturday at 11 a.m. We're live in Franklinville, New Jersey.
We continue to follow developments from Zionsville, Lehigh County. Firefighters are battling a blaze caused by multiple explosions. Action News reporter Dan Quayle is live at the scene. And Dan, what can you tell us?
Jim, the fire now appears to be under control. There are still a couple of hot spots, and we still continue to hear explosions from the fireworks being set off from time to time. Behind me, you can see the 2 truck trailers that were filled with fireworks that somehow caught fire, setting off a series of explosions. We now have viewer video, courtesy of Bill Weber, a viewer, that shows the fire. You can also hear the series of explosions as fireworks kept being set off. Neighbors say the property owner here in the 8400 block of Orchard is in the firework business and from time to time is known to set off fireworks. But there's still no word on what caused this fire. In addition to the tractors, a shed in the rear of the property also caught fire. It's a pretty remote area, and firefighters had to bring in tankers filled with water from multiple jurisdictions to bring in a steady flow of water. One neighbor who lives nearby says she was startled by an incredible explosion. Here's what she said.
All of a sudden, this explosion happened, and it shook the house. I mean, the house just trembled. The stuff came off my walls. I mean, I really thought that we were being attacked. It was really, really scary. And then right after that, all kinds of explosions started happening and happening and happening. It just finally got quiet, almost like gunshots. It sounded like, but it was fireworks.
Now, we've been hearing chatter about a possible fatality, but we still do not have that confirmed. The coroner, however, is on the scene as we speak. So this is a developing story, and we'll have more tonight on Action News. So right here in Zionsville, Lehigh County, I'm Dan Quayle, Channel 6 Action News. Jim?
Thank you, Dan.
This morning, the stepfather of those 2 missing Idaho siblings telling ABC News the kids are safe. His former neighbors in Hawaii say he told that same story before he left the island on Thursday.
And I said, "Are your kids okay?" And he said yes. I said, "Is Lori okay?" And he said yes.
It's been more than 5 months since 17-year-old Tylee Ryan and her brother, 7-year-old JJ Vallow, vanished without a trace. Their mother, Lori Vallow, is being held in this Hawaii jail on $5 million bail for criminal charges relating to deserting her children. She's refused to divulge where they are or if they're okay.
Dad, Lori, can you tell me where your kids are?
Last week, Daybell told our Marcus Moore he stayed quiet because of the legal process.
Is there anything that you would like to say to people at all who are, number one, concerned about the kids or concerned about you and your wife? Anything at all you want to say to them?
Who's the other one?
I don't know.
But JJ's grandfather wants to know if the children are in fact safe. Where are they?
Somebody has to step up.
Won't you
and
have
say,
it, since you're always accusing me of smoking one
we've seen him.
without
We know where he's at. We think we know
What,
where
the
he's
him one?
at.
No. Mm-mm.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Why don't you turn the light on so I can see?
Okay, Baylen, but guess what?
Some big news here from the Garden State this afternoon. Governor Phil Murphy lifted the stay-at-home order for the state of New Jersey.
That's right. That means 100 people can now gather together outside, and 50
what's this?
can gather
Radio
inside.
show.
Most outdoor recreation
Okay,
facilities
well.
can also reopen in a few weeks, and that includes pools.
New Jersey correspondent Trish Hart is covering that angle live from Willingboro. Trish.
Hi, Jeanette and Brian. Well, here at Willingboro's Country Club Pool, recreation officials say on a hot day like today, this place would likely be packed. But today we found out some new guidelines for municipal pools from the state, limiting pool capacity and encouraging people to wear their masks when they're not in the water. This is the governor made that announcement that New Jersey's stay-at-home order has been lifted.
With more and more of our businesses reopening, we are no longer requiring you to stay at home, but we are asking you to continue to be responsible and safe.
Governor Phil Murphy said the stay-at-home order in place since March 21st has saved hundreds, maybe thousands of lives. Also today, guidance was given on New Jersey public pools and swim clubs, which can open on June 22nd. That guidance includes limiting capacity to 50%. Guests and staff must sign in to help with contact tracing, and no pool toys, kickboards, or snorkel gear. We found people ready to take a dip.
Mostly because it'll give the children an outlet and the people who use the pool an outlet.
Others say they won't be going.
It's not like last summer. I mean, I really enjoyed last summer, but now I'm taking precaution because of the pandemic.
Willingboro Township recreation officials are still in talks about how and if the two public pools will reopen this summer.
We still have to look at whether or not that's going to let us be fiscally responsible to the taxpayers and residents, as well as one of our priorities is to make sure that everybody stays safe and healthy.
Trenton officials say their pools will likely open around mid-July.
We've been cooped up for the last couple of months, and recreation and pools are an important strategy, and keeping them having things to do during the summer months.
Now, the local officials we spoke to today say just because pools are allowed to open on June 22nd doesn't necessarily mean they'll be ready to go on that day. Officials in both Trenton and Willingboro say it will take a couple of weeks to figure out the new protocols. Reporting live in Willingboro, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News. Brian.
No, I'm good.
Union fans have reason to pay real attention to this. Nuisance Riders, what have you got?
Jim, there are countless high school seniors who graduated this month, albeit virtually, unfortunately. But then there's a high school senior who happens to be a professional soccer player. Jamie Apodi has his unique story and journey.
I remember going through the years thinking that this day would never come.
You were just eating.
But here we are, doing an online graduation.
Because of COVID-19, it was not your typical high school graduation. That being said, Jack DeVries is not your typical high school senior.
You're cool, like, on, like, Instagram and stuff. Like, people your age are, like, going to college and you're a professional soccer player.
That's right. At just 17, Jack had already signed his first professional contract. He's been a full-fledged member of the Philadelphia Union for more than a year, despite the fact that some veterans, like 33-year-old Alejandro Bedoya, are almost twice his age.
They're, like, so nice to me because, like, they know I'm the youngest person and, like, they're very welcoming to me. So, yeah, I'm used to it now, but when I first got there, like, it was crazy because I watched them since I was so young.
DeVries has been on this path basically his whole life. His father, Ramo, also a former MLS player.
I used to live in Europe, so, like, that was kind of, like, the thing that every kid in Europe wanted to be. So that's kind of, I changed my mindset to be a professional soccer player way before 8th grade.
But that is when he came here to Philadelphia to live and train with the YSC Academy, always envisioning his graduation, but of course, not quite like this.
If I'm being completely honest, it didn't feel as special as I would have wanted it to. I mean, I guess that's pretty obvious, but yeah, I mean, I'm obviously happy to graduate, but at the same time, a little